guys, welcome in. It's Maddie. Maddie from Maddie's Designs and Finds. We're on Pink Pixie tonight. We are going to be using some watercolors and water pens. Watercolors and water pens today. This is the Mermaid. Watercolors. And the Mermaid brushing set. This is what we're using. And the watercolors. And this is what it comes. It comes like this right here. Comes like this. And these come in the pouch. I've already filled mine up with water, but that's the way they come. So we're going to be using watercolors tonight. We're going to be using a calendar that I've took and pulled the pages apart. So that's what we're going to start with. I'm going to get a few of these pages cut from with my scissors here. And we're using the actual front of the calendar. I've got this light on, so I'm hoping y'all can see good. My husband hasn't got around to changing it yet. Give me 1 second. I'm going to turn this fan on. Hello everybody, welcome in. I have to turn my fan on. Hey Marla Kay. Hey Josie. Welcome in. Hey Magnolia. Magnolia Designs. Welcome in, everybody. Y'all don't mind, spread this video out. We're just cutting the numbers out of the page. I'm not keeping the days of the week. I'm putting those over to the side because I can use those for something else. But in this project, we're just using the little squares from the calendar that's got the numbers on it. So I'm just going to cut these out while everybody's popping on. How's everybody's week been? It's been a rough week. We've had 2 deaths. Last week we had a death, and we had a death in the family. Yesterday, my first cousin and another family member. So if y'all don't mind, pray for the family. I appreciate that. So this is what we're doing. This is just a 2022 calendar. And I'm just cutting out, see this was a Mountain magazine calendar. That's what this was. And so far I've just cut out 3 parts. We've cut off the days of the week and the month. We just kept the squares. That's what we're doing. And we're not using the back part. We're using the actual blocks. That's what we're going to work with. And we're going to be using watercolors for our Pink Pixie watercolors. And my code is Maddie15 off for 15% off. If y'all want to use that. Okay, we'll start with these 3. Well, let me go with 1 more. We'll do 4. We probably have time for 4. Or maybe more. I'll start with 4 and see how it goes. Hey Leslie. Hey Kim. Guys, my garden is starting to pop up. The plants are. I have corn and beans and tomatoes and I have cucumbers. All kinds of stuff out there. It's starting to pop up. And my flower bed, I can see little green popping up in it too. I planted me some flowers. I plant flowers around my garden because it's pretty and it helps it. So, okay. Well, see, we're getting off these Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the days of the week. I'm cutting it off. Just going with the squares with the numbers. Just the squares with the numbers. Okay, so I'm going to put this stuff over to the side because I could probably use the days on something else and the month. You can actually make yourself a calendar with what I'm doing. If you want to not buy a calendar again, make yourself an interchangeable calendar. My words will come out. Okay. So I'm going to set these behind me. I do have allergies going on, so look over me. Okay, we'll set my scissors over here for a moment. My little cart. Now I have some just plain thicker cardstock, and I'm going to put this on the back of our sheet like so. I'm just going to put it on there. You don't have to, but I want it on here just so my calendar is a little bit thicker, my little squares. So that's the first thing. And do I want to use, I'm going to use paper glue for that. You can use Meltdown. This is Meltdown to decoupage it on there, but I'm just going to use paper glue today because it's pretty fast to do this. Just going to use paper glue. But you can use Meltdown if you want to decoupage it on there. I'm just using glue because I want it to be a little bit thicker for what I'm doing. This is the first step. I'll put it on here. Hey Diane. I'm going to put this on here. It's okay that some of it is sticking over. It's all right. I didn't get a lot of glue on that part, no way. So, and you can always, where's my scissors? See, we got this up here, so I can always just trim this off and put it on the back part that didn't get covered, right here. You can stick this on here. You don't have to, but just to show you that you can. So I know my paper's not long enough. I should have got a bigger, I didn't think about it, a bigger size of cardstock for my calendar. Okay, here we go. I'll just trim this off. Going around, I'm just trimming it off. So we're using watercolors tonight on this, is what we're going to be using. And I'll tell you what you can use this for. So I wanted it to be a little bit thicker. You don't have to do this step. You can skip it if you want to skip it. I do have trash over here, but this is what we end up with. This is the back. You can actually journal on the back of it. This is stuff for journals or any other crafts that you, paper crafts, any kind of thing that you want to have an embellishment for, because we're making embellishments with this. I'm just getting this in here. Now this is a glossy sheet on the front. That's why we're using watercolors, so that you can still see the numbers, and this is glossy anyway, so we'll see how it turns out. Let me see. Let me go ahead and glue these sheets down while everybody's popping on and spreading out. Yeah, I got enough for 4. And spreading out the video. And we're going to be using our paints and our watercolor markers. Watercolors and the markers. These are our Paint Pixies Mermaid watercolor set. Where did I put the little... I just had the little thing it came off of. It shows it. It's the Mermaid water set. Did I drop it? Did I set it behind me? I don't know what I did with it. It was right here. I'm probably looking over it. It's been a long week. Okay. Anyway, let me go ahead and glue these real quick. This is the way you want it to be. I want mine thicker. As I said, I wanted it thick so it can be cut out individually once we get this done. I'm just trying to hurry with this part so we can start using our watercolors. This is going to be the fun part, is using our watercolors. Hey, Faye. Let's get this on. Set that down so it doesn't fall. This one, sit behind me for just a second. I don't want to stick them down to each other, so I'm just going to put this into the edge. Okay, I'm going to trim this off. I should have done that to the other one, but I didn't. It's okay. Stick this down on here. I have enough glue. We're going to get to our watercolors in just a minute. I just want to get these down because it's going to be fun to do these. It's going to be fun. I'm just getting all the extra off. There we go. Let me see. I'll put that down there. Don't need that piece. But you can see this is a little bit thicker now. And these little squares. So we got two. Let's do one. We got two more to go. Do it really quick. So we can, as I said, we're not using the pictures of the calendar. We're using the numbers. The little squares. Have you all used these calendars lately for anything? Let me know if you've used the calendars lately for any kind of crafts and what you would do with them if you have all these. I have tons of calendars I've collected over the years that I need to use. And it's fun if they're written in. This was a new one that I hadn't used that was in paper, but I went ahead and used it. But if you have one that is used that has handwriting, it's a lot prettier. Just so don't throw them away. If you, the used ones are nice to do this with. Very nice to use the ones that's written on. Okay. And I'm just putting this on the back because I want it to be a little thicker. Because this one was a little bit thin. The pages was a little bit thin. If your calendar is thick, you can skip this part too. But mine was thin. So we might use that as a scrap or something. One more and then we can get busy. One more, then we will get busy with our project. That's why I'm using paper glue, because it's just faster than doing the decoupage medium. But you can use Meltdown or Force Field. Well, we have a new thing besides Force Field coming in, because Force Field is no longer available, I don't think. Do you have any extra right now on the website, Josie? But Force Field is going away, and there's going to be a new one. So, but you can use any of the sealers for decoupage medium. And this is the Meltdown. It's the one I use most of the time. I do have some Force Field left, so sometimes I will use it. And Josie also has kits that's for sample kits of the paint. If you haven't tried it and you want to, it's a good price. You can choose your sealer and your paint, and it's like a little kit that she's got. a good price right now. So y'all can check that out as well if you're interested. Okay, we got them all. So we got them all glued. We're going to do 4 pages is what we're doing. We're going to start out with one. And I'll set these over here just to finish drying. Let me move my scissors. Okay, now, these are beautiful watercolors. They are very pigmented. I love them. So one of my favorite things from Paint Pixie is these watercolors. So I'm just going to get my pen. It's got water in it already. I done filled it up. And this is thicker now. Now you can do this individually if you want, but I'm not. I wanted to do it like this and then do it and cut them out. So, and we're just going to go in. Let's go in with this color. I'm just getting my paints. This is a new one that I just opened, my watercolors, because I couldn't find the one I had opened. Because I've been going through my crafts, and I don't know where I laid it. But you just want to go in here and put some color on here. And you see by using the watercolors, you can still see the numbers and stuff on the calendar. So that's what we want. And I'm just using purple right now. Which is pretty. See? And yes, I'm just going over this, and it's going to be having all different colors. I'm just getting some darker purple right now. We just used that one right here. Now we're going in here with this one. It's a darker purple. These are going to be pretty when I'm done. This is going to be some ephemera that you can use for your paper crafts or whatever. Hey Denise, how are you? Hey Camille, welcome in. Do y'all have any of these calendars? I'm not seeing no comments. I'm just seeing everybody that's watching. So if you're commenting, I'm sorry. So see, I'm just putting color on here. Putting color on here. And you can also, where's my little, you can spray this if you want to make it go even further and thin it out just a little bit more. Your watercolors, you can do that too. On here, you can do that. You can do that if you want. See, this is purple on here, but we're going to put some other colors in here too. Let's do a pink, and you can use all different ones of these, but I'm just using this same brush since you can use one in different ones because I don't mind it mixing. Because these are going to mix anyway when I'm done. And you can use alcohol inks on here too if you'd like to do that. But I like using these watercolors because they're pretty and they work really good on this surface. Hey Jojo, hey Kim. Welcome in. We're just doing some light colors right here right now. I'm working with the light colors. See, you can still see the numbers on here. I know it looks like scribble right now, but the process is going to be, it's going to be nice once you see what we're doing with it. We're not done. We're just starting. Do some green. These are going to be sort of like a master board. It's been rainy here today. It's rainy. Rainy, rainy, rainy. See, and I don't care if these mix the colors. This is going to be fun doing this. You can keep it bright and light if you want. You don't have to mix your colors. But I like when it does that. When it mixes like this for what we're doing on here. Do y'all like using watercolors? I love watercolors. I can sit and play with watercolors probably all day long. Now you can even just do some extra water in here and let it pool up and just put it on here like so. Let it pool up a little bit if you want. See how it goes. See, you can just pull it up right here. I just put extra water in here and just making it a little bit more on here. Just dabbing it on. You can still see the numbers. See this? It's pretty. I like this color. These greens. Okay. We'll let this dry. You like watercolors too? Yes, my garden definitely likes the rain. It was dry, so yes, it's loving the rain. Okay, we got some little floral. These come from Cracker Square stamps. We're going to be stamping, and also, let's see, give me. Hold on. I'm trying to get this. And this is for a cake. And I just cut it down to use it for stenciling. These are little flowers that you could stencil onto cake, that's wrapped around your cake. But I'm using it for paper stencils. So we're going to stencil some stuff on here. And we're going to stamp some stuff on here. But first, let's dry this. And we're going to do all different colored ones. And I'll show you what else we're going to be doing with it. It's going to be fun. See, we're drying it. Okay. Let's see. Do we want to stencil on this one, or do we want to stamp some florals on it? I think we might do the stamping a little bit. Let's do some stamps. Then we might do some other little things too. Let's try this stamp first though. And I'm just going to put ink over this whole entire thing and stamp this. I don't want that fan drying out my ink, so these florals on here. As I said, if it had writing on here, it would be pretty too. But this was a new calendar. Let me do this. It's getting on my nerves. I don't have patience for that today. But look at this. It's pretty. I'm going to stamp it again. The whole thing, since we did pinks and greens and stuff, that's pretty for these flower stamp. I think so. I think the flower stamp is pretty on it. And we're just going to go in again and stamp it. And then I'll stamp it a little bit more. Now, you see, it's coming together. See all that? The florals and everything. I don't know if you can tell on there, but it's pretty. I mean, you can do more on here if you want to do more on here. You can decorate them up real pretty. You put different things. Let me see. What am I? Let's see. There's. Okay. Do we want to do any more stamping? I'm just going to do that for this one. So now we're going to cut these out individual as individual little squares. And I'll just show you why. Now you can cut them out individually at first, but it's going to be harder to like paint them all individual. So that's why I do it like this. Then cut them out. We'll be doing a different color on the next one. We might do some stenciling. I'm not sure. But these are cute. You know, when you make master boards and stuff for journaling, this is sort of the same idea, but it's using calendars, making little clusters or whatever. Now look at this. You can even make bookmarks like this. Would be a pretty bookmark. You can use it as a bookmark. It would be pretty. You can laminate it, use it as a bookmark. That's one idea you can use with these. But we're going to cut them individually. And you can cut them individually and make your own calendar by putting this little glue, the little glue dots on the back and sticking it onto cereal box and make your own calendar. You can use some for ephemera. You can use them as paper clips and put them in journals. And look, when you cut it up, each one of them has a different little design on it and different color from the watercolors to use in your journaling. And all these, the same thing. We're going to cut them up. You can do it individually or use them as bookmarks. See, each one of them is going to be different once we cut them into individuals. So, go ahead and cut them. And I'm just cutting on the line of the little squares. About cut my finger with my scissors. It's been a week. See, and this calendar, it had some words already on it, and look, that looks pretty. Hey, Becca. See? Hey, Robin. Now, if you had handwriting on here, it would be pretty too. So all these are going to be individual little things you can put in your junk journal. There's so many different ideas that you can use these for. You can use them as belly bands in your journal. Just don't cut the individual squares, but I'm doing individual squares right now to show you what I was intending on doing. There's so many different ways that you can use these. And using watercolors is, you can see all this stuff underneath. And you can see those watercolors were beautiful. So if y'all haven't got any Pink Pixie watercolors, go and grab you a set. We're almost done. See, we have all kinds of ephemera now that we can use in junk journals. But I'll show you how to store it in just a second. And each one of them is going to be different. You know, look, this one's got a little flower there. These are so different now where we did the watercolors. Each one of them are different colors. Different little designs from the stamps. And whatever was already on the calendar, like the writing or the number, is still on it, which gives it a little extra. Okay. So here is our first one. You can even put a little paper thing through it. Let me see. You can put little grommets and stuff through it and tie some thread through them and put them like that in your journals. I don't have my other thing. Or you can use these. Guys, my hands ain't working today. You can use these little things here and poke it through on the end and put it in your paper and like that, you know, these little things you can poke through there, little paper clip things, and put it in there for a little extra thing if you want. I'm not doing that right now because I'm not using them yet. What we're going to do, y'all remember these photo albums? Y'all, do you use your photo albums anymore? Well, if you don't, you can get them back out. If you have empty ones that's been gifted to you or whatever, because I know a lot of people don't use their photo albums. Well, guess what we're going to do with this photo album? We're going to use it as an ephemera storage. And to do that, you can stick these in here. And when you need something, you can go in here, whatever color you need, and pop it out. You can also use double-sided tape to stick these in here with. Where is my double-sided tape? I do believe I brought it in here. Did I? Or did I not? I've got my stuff over here. I ain't going nowhere. I'm not here. I'm just looking in my cart. I thought I had my double-sided tape. I do. 1 second. So here's my double-sided tape. I just get these little skinny rolls from Temu. Temu, whatever you want to call it. I just got to find the end. There it is. You can put a little piece of tape if it's not sticky enough, because you don't have to use this part if you want to cut these off, and you don't have to use those. And you can just put your double-sided tape or dot. I have dots somewhere. Take this off. And then you just pop it on here with the tape. Then when you're ready, you just come and pull it back off. And you have it. Then you can put stuff back in there in the same spot. If you need to get another calendar, you can still use the same thing and put it in there like that, and you just pull it off. And you wouldn't even have to have the cover on it if you didn't want the cover on there. You could just put them on here like this, or even use the cereal box, as I said, and stick them on the cereal box the same way. I had a cereal box, but didn't bring it in here. But you can put it on, like stick it on the cereal box and just pull it off. Store if you don't have one of these little things. That's a good way to use your cereal boxes, is to do this. So, but I'm not going to sit here and put all these in here tonight. But you can decorate them by putting little jewels on it. Let's put a little jewel on here. Let's see. And forgot to put my paper glue. Hey, Candy. Okay, where's my other glue that I'm looking for? Well, let me get my hot glue turned on over here. I don't know where my other glue is at, so. But, like, you can put little jewels on them. You can put flower, like paper flower, 3D flowers. You can put lace on them. You can decorate these however you want to decorate them up. We'll decorate a few after my hot glue gets hot. But this is the way to store them, and when you need stuff for your ephemera, you can just come over here and flip through here and see what you need and grab it out of your book. Let's put this to the side for a second. Let's start on another one. Let's do another page. So all we did is took the calendar page. I glued an extra sheet on the back of cardstock to make it a little thicker. If yours is thick, you don't have to do, you can skip it. Skip any step you don't like. Okay. Now, we use the floral, so set this to the side. I want to use a different brush. This is a little bit of a wider brush. Well, not this one. I don't want to use that one. Let's see. You see this one. And all these have water. I've done put water in all of them. So I want this one. And we're going to go with blue on these. And I'm just using my watercolors. Get my watercolors out. I'm mixing it up. Now, as I said, you can just dab it on here if you want to dab it. Put extra water and just dab it and see how it does when it pulls up and dries. You can do it like that, any way that you want. Rub it on, dab it on, however you want. Because they're all going to come out different. Each little thing is going to come out different. But I want blue. So, are any of you going to try this with your outdated calendars? That might give it a pretty effect on it with these little like, darker places. So you can do darker with it. Just, you know, see what it does. Just gonna pull it up. Okay. So we're just getting a lot of this color. And you can still see the numbers, guys, underneath. You can go as light or as dark as you want on here. Okay, we did that one. Let's see, what other color do we want to go with this one? And you can always wash out your pen and use it again on something else. Or just keep using it. It doesn't matter if it mixes a little bit. Okay, let's go over here. I'm just getting a different color. What do y'all think? This is a brown. I like brown and blue together. Looks like rust, and we'll do some green too, so it looks like maybe a patina look on this one. I'm just dabbing some of these in here and leaving some of the spots, you know, like pulled up here. You see how it's pulling right there? I didn't spread it out. I want it to dry like that so that it's, when it dries, it'll be neat. And as I said, you can also spray this and watch them move around the colors on their own. and see what it comes up with. And I'm going to do some green on here too in a minute. But each one of these are going to be individually, and you can use them for whatever project that you want. You can use them as hidden paper clips. You can do that, which we may do a hidden paper clip with one of these before we're done. You can make it into tags, whatever you want to use. And I like doing this because it's relaxing, it's fun, keeps your mind off of things if you need to just de-stress. You know, if you've had a rough week. So we got some brown on there. Let's go with a little bit of green. This I'm using the same one. It's okay. And it makes it a little bit dark green right there with that brown, so. Then I'll show you by mixing some of them together, these colors, what you get. And you can also just lightly mist it and see where the colors go. Let them run. See what it does. Underneath. It's pretty. Okay. So look what we've got. We got some dots underneath. We got some light coverage over top. Let's do some more of this green. You can also use your distress inks for the corners and stuff once you get them the way that you want it. You can go in with whatever colors. I like this, so we can leave it there. You can do whatever, what colors you like, use them. Let's start drying. Let's dry this. So I think we're gonna maybe stencil on this one. Yeah, we'll probably stencil some on this one. It's gonna look pretty when it's dry. Each one of them will be different. You can put more green or whatever color you want on here. You can add to it. Try it. Is everybody having a good day today? What's everybody been doing? I know there's a few events, like I think Crackers in the Kitchen and stuff going on today. Have y'all been watching other creators? What y'all been doing nowadays? Look, this is dry. I don't know if you can tell it in the camera, but it looks pretty. I love these watercolors. Getting it dry now. And if I miss any comments, I will go back and try to read them. If Miss Recipe shows them to us. Got a couple spots here that's not dry. This is going to be pretty once I stamp it and get it cut up. I know this thing's noisy. Sorry about that. Get me a drink. Okay, let's, for this one, yeah, let's use, I want to use these little florals. Yeah, I think this is going to work. Which way do I want it? Okay, and I'm going to use my Distress inks for this one. And we're going to stencil some of these little flowers. As I said, this was for a cake, but I'll use it for crafting instead. We'll see how this comes out. Hopefully it's going to work good. You didn't want to hold it down, you could tape it down while you do this. Now, each one of these will be different once you cut them out of the page. You can go as dark or light as you want on here with these little stencils. You could even use Paint Pixie paint, you know, and lightly go over these stencils and get a different color on the top if you wanted a color. Oops. That went down the side of my thing. Luckily I have another one. Luckily I have another one here. I have a backup. Hey Tammy. Hey Virginia. Let's see. Okay, that's pretty neat. Set that back there. You can see some of the little florals and stuff on here. You could put a little dot in between of them. You could do so many different things where you're going to ink the edges of this. Then we'll go back and ink the edges of the individual ones because we're going to be cutting these out individually as well. If you just joined, we have been using the Paint Pixies watercolors and her watercolor pens. And this is a calendar that I used. I just put a cardstock on the back of it. We're making ephemera for junk journals. That's what we're doing. And guys, I do have Paper Junkies. It's a private group for $10. We do paper crafting in there. If you want to join, it's $10 a month. I'll teach you how to do paper crafts. Okay, now let's cut these individually. As I said, you can use these for bookmarks. If you want to just cut them long enough for a bookmark, you can do that. You can use them for tags. If you didn't want to cut it individually, you can make tags, but you can make a bookmark. You can paper clips. Just put it in clusters. Add other things to it for clusters. There's so many different things you can use these for. It's like making a master board, having stuff on hand to put in your crafts, paper crafts when you need it. But using watercolors on here is, I think, is awesome way to get these done. for these calendar pages because they are slick surface, you know, a shiny surface to begin with. And these watercolors work good with it. At least I think the watercolors look pretty with it. And when you do these, each one of them is going to be different. Remember, when we cut it up. Okay. So let's go ahead and cut a few individual ones. And then I'll ink the edge of them. So you can see. And if you missed, I'll show you in just a second how we're going to store these. Okay, we're just doing them individual little squares, and you can see the numbers from the calendar on there. Now, as I said, you can make your own calendar with this, you know, since you got just the numbers and not the actual day of the month. You could just put it on whatever the month starts out. You know, you could keep the days of the month with I did. So, and just put it on a cereal box with sticky tape on the back and just switch it out each time. If you like the calendar, you wouldn't have to buy a new one every year. But, you know, I've got tons of calendars that I can do this with, so I'm not really worried about it. Buying a new one because I could do my own. I've got calendars to last me for a while. But I'm not going to cut up each and every one of these because we only got a few minutes left. So, I'm going to show you. This is what we've been doing. Give me this. We're going to ink up this. Now, you could even go back and add more watercolors to this if you wanted. If it doesn't have the color exactly the way you want it, you can add more watercolors to it. Okay, so we did the purples earlier. So y'all know what I'm going to be doing later, sticking all these in here. Sticking each individual one in this book. This is a photo album. Guys, if you have photo albums you don't use, this is the best way to store your ephemera. And we're just using, you can use the dots or double-sided tape and just stick them in here. Now you could just do it like this, but you know, it's a chance to slide around. So you can even cut this off if you wanted to. Which I may end up doing if it annoys me too much. But I put double-sided tape, stick them on here, and when you're ready to use, go and find something to put in your journal, scrub it off, and when you make something else, you can just put it back on here. If you have another calendar piece, you can stick on there, and just, you know, replace each time you use your stuff and just replace it that way. And this one's stuck on there. Let's just ink this end. I said you can decorate them up too. Let me just, you can go around the edges individually and get them inked good, like so. That's pretty. See? And do each one of them individually. Use them for paper clips to clip into your journals. You can journal on the back of them or just put them in with other clusters of paper. I mean, there's so many different ways you can use these. But you can store them in here like that. And that's what I'll be doing later. So, I have some little stuff here. You could even add to it. You can add little clusters like this. You could put, these are paper flowers here. Let me find a smaller one. You could put a little paper flower on it, something like this. You know, let me find my paper clips. I don't know where my paper clips went. Oops. I was going to find a paper clip. But you could glue this together like this. And it'd be a cute little thing. And you can stick that in your book as a little ephemera piece, which I think I might go ahead and do this real quick. I was going to put a paper clip on it, but let's stick that there. Stick this here. Like so. Just hot glued it together. See? And you use some little ephemera whenever you need it for junk journals. And you see all that prettiness behind it from all the watercolors. I'm trying to see, I had some paper clips here, I thought. Let me see. I do. You could put your paper clip on there and clip it into your little journal. You could even make hidden paper clips with these by folding these over, you know, and putting your paper clip inside, make your hidden paper clip. I think this one will just be clipped inside of something. But is that cute? You could even use, these are all stamps, vintage stamps. You could put some stamps on them. Let's do one with a stamp. Let me see. That's pretty. Let's put some hot glue for this stamp. And you can do these and put them in your book as well, decorated, or you can decorate them afterwards. Put this little stamp on here. This little stamp. Isn't that pretty? And I have some little tiny paper flowers here. You could put a little blue flower right there. That's pretty. Let's go ahead. Make sure it's just one. Yeah. Little flower. But look how pretty that background is with that, you know, with those colors that I put on here from the watercolors. The background, it's so pretty. Just give me, move that. You could even put a little thing like this on here, which I'm going to do. These are just little, what do you call them? Little gears. Little gears. Steampunk stuff, if you want to make you some steampunk stuff, or little gears. It's a little gear. Look how cute that is. And we just started out with a calendar page and some watercolors. Calendar page and watercolors. And you can get cute little things like this or this for your junk journals. Ain't they very pretty? You can, I said, paper clip them in, or you can just glue them in. However you want to stick stuff like this in your journals. But if you already have this made up, a bunch of these with watercolors, when you need something, just grab the color that you want and just put all your stuff on it in your journal as you're doing your journal. But you already have your background with your watercolors in your folder. So you can do whatever colors, like we did the purple ones, we stamped on them. Those are pretty. You can put them in here. And the calendars with writing in it, it looks best. But this didn't have no writing because it was a new calendar that I had never opened. So if you have calendars that has handwriting in it, it looks really pretty. But yeah, that's some stuff to do. Alright guys, that is my time. I don't know who is up next after me, but thank you all for joining me and watching tonight. And my code is Maddie, 15 off for 15% off. Go and check Pink Pixie out, and I'll see y'all later. Have a blessed night. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.